Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Around the World in 80 Tours. My name is the Lorekeeper, and as you can see, there's a little bit of an elephant in the room. Uh, you can see that for some reason I am blue. I don't know what's going on. I discovered this a couple days ago when I was just exploring on my own. I looked down and I saw my hands were blue. Then I open up my camera here and see that I myself am blue. Um, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a glitch in the app or something. I've already tried uninstalling it and then reinstalling it. I've tried looking for updates. There's none. So I don't know anything about this, and I hate it. I've I've already emailed the developers to see if they know what's going on and what to do about it. I am kind of worried that this is just a new feature that has been added to the app, which I really don't like. And I'm hoping if that's the case, they undo it. But anyway, more on a celebratory note, this is also the first episode to be available officially on the new Around the World in 80 Tours YouTube channel, which it was requested that I make. Um, it's got some subscribers already, uh, a lot of whom I think were already subscribed from my previous YouTube channel, because I essentially just converted it into a page for Around the World in 80 Tours. So they more or less got ambushed into subscribing, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, this is episode 11. This is Tbilisi in Georgia. This is the capital city of the country of Georgia. And I was just reading up on this place just a few minutes before filming here. And honestly, it has the potential to be one of the most interesting tours I've done on this show. Of course, I've only done about 11 tours now, so you know. But anyway, let's have a look around here. Where we are is like the town square. I think the Capitol building of the entire country of Georgia is around here somewhere. But yeah, this town, as I was reading, okay, this town as I was reading, um, is kind of like a crossroads for multiple different cultures, because where it's settled is on the banks of uh, what was it, the Kura River, um, and it's like a nexus point between the continents of Europe and Asia. So there's a blend of both those cultures around here, which we'll take a look around here and see if we can find any symbols of culture. You can see that statue up there. Of course, it's kind of blurry, but this was a recently taken picture. You'll also notice throughout this episode and probably a few more episodes that I am going back to an older way of doing things. Used to, um, I would have ChatGPT write up a little summary of the area, but I've decided that since I'm on YouTube now, uploading these, um, it does allow me to more carefully research and make possibly longer episodes. Um, so you'll notice I occasionally pull up a Wikipedia article, which, admittedly, it's not the most credible source of information, um, but it's just kind of like a bit of a shortcut, you could say. Um, it's easier to read. There's not so many ads. Uh, so as you'll see, I'll pull it up here. Yeah, I'll pull it up so we can see it right over here. Um, so as you see, the city was known before 1936 as Tiflis. And as I was reading a little bit ago, um, this country, well, it used to be a country, that is. Um, it used to be semi-independent, but over the years since its founding in the 5th century, um, it's been dominated by a couple different countries. It was once dominated by Iran. Uh, it was part of the Soviet Union, which we see how that turned out. Um, it was part of. Oops, that's the wrong button. It was part of the Roman Empire. Uh, Parthia, Sassanid Persia. Yeah, it's been widely disputed amongst several different nations. Uh, Iran, like I said, Russian. Uh, then the brief independence after the Russian Revolution of 1970, or excuse me, 1917, not 1977. City served as a location for the Transcaucasus interim government, which established in the spring of 1918 the short-lived independent Transcaucasian Federation with the capital in Tbilisi. At this time, Tbilisi had roughly the same number of Armenians as Georgians, with Russians being the third largest ethnic group. It was in the former viceroy of the Caucasus Palace where the independence of the Transcaucasus nations, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, I don't know if I said that correctly or not, I sincerely apologize, was declared by their respective national councils on the 26th to 28th of May in 1918. After this, Tbilisi functioned as the capital of the Democratic Republic of Georgia until the 25th of February in 1921. From 1918 to 1919, the city also consecutively served as the headquarters of the country's German garrison and later the British 27th Division. Tbilisi was also the main office of the British Chief Commissioner in Transcaucasia, Oliver Wardrobe, or not Wardrobe, I am so sorry, Oliver Wardrop, and the High Commissioner to Armenia, Colonel William N. Haskell. Under the national government, Tbilisi turned into the first Caucasian university city after the Tbilisi State University was founded in 1918. On the 25th of February 1921, the Bolshevist Russian 11th Red Army Tbilisi and after bitter invaded Tbilisi and after bitter fighting at the outskirts of the city declared Soviet rule. So as you see, um, I've been saying that a lot this episode. I'm sorry. I just have to notice it. um, this place has been widely contested among so many different nations and fallen prey to many a foreign rule. Um, and you can see kind of why. Uh, Geographically, this place is kind of like situated at an ample vantage point to be able to access a couple different nations or a couple different continents, even. So, Asia and I'm sorry, I said that before I actually totally knew what I was talking about, but that happens. This is like the third take of this episode, and I'm not recording again right now. But yeah, you can see a lot of the architecture here. It's kind of older, but see, I like that. I like that little arc there. Can I get closer to it? That might be someone's private residence. Yeah, you can see the buildings here. They're a little older. Um, if I had to guess, I'd say a lot of them were around in probably the. I'm just gonna wager a guess. I'm gonna say like mid 50s. Uh, I don't totally know about that, and I fully disclose I didn't do that much research before I started filming, which is a bad habit. But a lot of the time, my episodes are just kind of shot on a whim, you know. But let's see what else we can find. Can see some of the graffiti around here. Can I get a closer? Oop. Oh wow. This angle makes me very dizzy. Um is is that an ad? Yeah. Uh I think that's an ad. Oh wow. I am on somebody's bike helmet. Let me try to get a different view because this is gonna make me vomit. That's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. Okay. That's that's better. Okay. Kind of lost control of the camera there for a second. Um you can see a lot of the artwork in the back alleys here, and the alleys back here are really kind of tight. You can see the balconies, the homes, the dog. I really wish I could like contact whoever owns this dog and just be like, "Hey, your dog is so cute. Can I get closer to him?" Ah, not again. Not again. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up my map here and go to a random area that's not this one, and maybe there's less GoPro footage from a bike. Okay, let's see. Yeah, a lot of alleys around here. A little bit of blurry imagery. Ooh, my stomach hurts after all that. Okay, this looks like it is a government building. We'll we'll see if there's some views around inside or nearby it. Oh, what's this? This is nice. It's like a little monument. So now seems like a good time to go ahead and pull up that article again and see what else there is to see. Did I did I close the Okay. Okay, there it is. There it is. I didn't mean to pull up so many windows there. You saw where I just got finished emailing the developers of this app to see about me not being blue anymore. All right. So during the Soviet rule in 1921, the Democratic Republic of Georgia was occupied by the Soviet Bolshevik forces from Russia, and until 1936, Tbilisi functioned first as the capital city of the Transcaucasian SFSR, which include Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia, and afterward until 1991 as the capital of the Georgian Soviet Socialist Republic. During Soviet rule, Tbilisi's population grew significantly. The city became more industrialized and it also came to be an important political, social, and cultural center of the Soviet Union. In 1980, the city hosted the first state sanctioned rock festival in the USSR, which, as a rock fan, it's a pretty big deal. Well, then again, the USSR collapsed in the grand scheme of things not that long after. Um, I almost promised rock music had nothing to do with it. Held that first rock festival in the USSR as a major tourist destination for both Soviet citizens and foreign visitors. Tbilisi's Old Town, neighborhoods within the original city walls, was reconstructed in the 1970s and 1980s. So, if I had to wager a guess now, a more educated hypothesis, I would say, that area we were just in probably falls under that jurisdiction of the 1970s and 1980s, which, still pretty cool. Tbilisi, excuse me, Tbilisi witnessed mass anti-Russian demonstrations during 1956 in the March 9th massacre in protest against the anti-Stalin policies of Nikita Khrushchev. Peaceful protests occurred in 1978, and in 1989, the April 9th tragedy was a peaceful protest that turned violent. Wow. So they had some things to say. Oop, they had some things to say about Joseph Stalin, which a lot of people did. From what I understand, he wasn't a well admired figure amongst the commoners of the Soviet Union. Let's see. So I'm guessing that's the government building in question. Like that stairway there. I was kind of expecting more, like, I don't know, I was expecting more cultural landmarks around the building. I don't know. Let's see what else. Is there a view from inside, maybe? There's not, but hey, now we have kind of a better picture of this monument. See, back in the day, if I still had my AI assistant on my account here, I'd be able to figure out exactly what this monument is, who made it, when it was made. Uh, but unfortunately, I don't really have the money for that right now, so we're just doing without. This is a nice view. Let's see. I'm gonna click on. Oh, a science museum? Nice. Sweet. Sorry, I just kind of got a little distracted there. Real quick, let me check my timer and see how much longer we have left on this episode. Okay, we've got like a minute. So I guess I will go ahead and wrap it up, or I don't know, maybe go a little bit longer. What's this? Okay. So looks like this is about the area that April 9th protest took place. This is a this is a drone shot, of course. But I guess while we're up here, it is a good view to end on. But yeah, I'm gonna go for a little bit longer. My timer's probably gonna go off here in just a moment. Why does my browser keep closing? I swear I keep minimizing it. Stop and stop. Okay, where was it? Did I lose my place on here? Yes. It's okay though. We'll just go further down. Okay. Since the breakup of the Soviet Union, Tbilisi has experienced periods of significant instability and turmoil. After a brief civil war, which, oh, excuse me, that's the timer going off to let me know I've exceeded my recording time, but it's fine. Tbilisi has experienced periods of significant instability and turmoil. After a brief civil war, which the city endured for 2 weeks from December 1991 to January 1992, when pro Gemsakardia and opposition forces clashed. There are so many countries and nations I've never heard of on this thing. I'm going to have to explore these later. Tbilisi became the scene of frequent armed confrontations among various mafia clans and illegal business operators. During the Shevard, excuse me, Shevardnadze era, I'm so sorry. From 1992 to 2003, crime and corruption were rampant. Many segments of society became impoverished because of unemployment caused by the crumbling economy. Average citizens of Tbilisi started to become increasingly disillusioned with the existing quality of life in the city, which, reading about the history of this city, it's not hard to believe, uh, and in the nation in general. Mass protests took place in November 2003 after falsified parliamentary elections forced more than 100,000 people into the streets and concluded with the Rose Revolution. Since 2003, Tbilisi has experienced considerably more stability with decreasing crime rates, an, an improved economy, and a real estate boom. During the 2008 South Ossetia War, the Tbilisi area was hit by multiple Russian air attacks. After the war, several large-scale projects were started, including a streetcar system, a railway bypass, and a relocation of the central station and new urban highways. In June 2015, a flood killed at least 20 people and caused animals from the city zoo to be released onto the streets. Oh my. So that's pretty well the more modern history of the nation, or of the city of Georgia. Excuse me, the city of Tbilisi in the nation of Georgia. Finally got that right. Um, so as you see, it's experienced some challenging times in its history, and it looks like it's starting to kind of get back on its feet, and I'm really proud of it. Um, I know when cities have been ravaged by war uh, amongst superpowers and foreign nations, it can be really difficult for its citizens to be able to rebuild, um, which that is a thing that gets kind of swept under the rug a lot. Is the civilian cost of all these nations at each other's throats for decades and even centuries. Um, but yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end the episode. Um, don't forget there is a link to my Cash App in the description. So if you like the tours, if you think we're doing good, and you want to leave me a little something to show your gratitude or whatever, just to help me out, there's a tip your tour guide feature just by clicking that link and donating however much you want to. But like I said, these tours are nonprofit, they are educational only, so it's completely up to you whether or not you want to leave anything for me or not. But anyway, my name's the Lorekeeper. Thank you for watching Around the World in 80 Tours. I hope to see you again. Bye bye.